The usual Patty talking about shit.
Oh, great. Good start. I just press record and then you start blowing holes everywhere. Blowing holes in my ship. Hello. Welcome to Unusual Paddy. I'm here with Jamie and partner in the background. And I'm here with Martin on his own with his pack of cookies. However, this is more of an unusual Paddy.
One lone cookie.
One lone cookie. This is rather an unusual Paddy because we're all in quarantine and we're all doing this through a jerry-rigged system through Xbox Live. So we're all in our individual homes, probably sat in our pants and chatting freely.
You're right as well.
Bold of you to assume I've even got pants on.
Well, I'd like to think. What was that? You've got your frillies on?
Yeah, we'll go with that, shall we?
Oh, you probably shouldn't have agreed to that. Remember, I do the pictures for usual, Paddy.
Oh, please don't put me in frilly pants.
I don't even think I want to draw such a minuscule bulge.
No. Oh, victimised.
Yes,
Ooh.
that's why we're here. So, yes.
So, Joe, what are we talking about today?
We're all in quarantine because a thing is spreading and is killing people. So
I'm sorry, all right? I forgot to throw it away when I finished eating.
Tumbleweed. So, yeah, we're in quarantine, and so how shall we do it? Shall we talk about the rules? I mean, it might differ around the world for around the world listeners. So, in the UK at the minute, you're only allowed to go out if it's essential for supplies, or if you're a key worker, or you need a hearse or something. Or you're allowed to exercise once a day.
Allowed one form of outdoor exercise a day. Yeah.
I go outside, do one push-up, and, I consider that a job well done.
Get in.
Yeah. So I am a key worker. I still have to work, and I have been working tirelessly for many hours a day. Jamie, you are also a key worker. However,
I am. Yes,
you are now back at work after you had
I am
the sniffles and had to be off work for a length of time, and then you had a week holiday on top of that as well. So
yeah, well, I had tonsillitis, but because at the start it manifested with similar symptoms to this illness, I had to self-isolate for 14 days. However, the second week of those 14 days, I had already booked off as holiday as well, so I've got full holiday pay for that week.
nice.
Yeah.
So
Whereas
we are key workers. Martin, I mean, you're key in our eyes, but
Yay! Thank you.
But-
Thank you very much.
but that's,
Yeah, we need our pet monkey, don't we?
yeah. But tiles are not key, apparently.
And
Apart
the
from
best
if
bit,
you're
I was like,
currently in a house that's being renovated, and you're like, shit, I need some tiles. Oh, I can't get any. I got to walk on this concrete floor now.
well, the greatest
horror.
bit is one of the other things that they're doing in the UK is the 80% pay the government is doing that businesses can claim. Now, the cut-off, you had to be on the company's books for the 28th of February, which was the Friday, and I started work on the 2nd of March, which was the Monday after that. So because of a time that can be expressed in hours, I get fuck all because some dickhead ate a bat. And, yeah.
Because someone came down
So-
with
so
the
I'm-
bat sniffles.
Yeah, so I'm happy at the moment in that respect.
Oh, I can tell.
Yeah.
You're just
I have-
beaming happiness.
I have seen over the past like almost 2 weeks, I've seen every single episode of the first 5 seasons of Paw Patrol, and Beck knows how many episodes of PJ Masks as well, because I
I
am
know your
stuck at
pain,
home.
brother.
I
Yeah.
am stuck at home.
The only difference
with
is
my
it's just a
4-year-old,
shame you don't have a
who I love
child.
dearly. Ooh. Well, my partner, as you both know, but the listeners don't, is an NHS person. So she goes
She's
to
a key
work
worker.
every single day. So apart from her in the evenings, my only human contact for 2 weeks has been a 4-year-old
And a mirror.
who is lovely, but just the amount of times. I mean, I don't mind if you ask a question and they don't understand. But if you're having your lunch and she says, "Can we have a biscuit after lunch?" I'm like, "Yes, yes we can. Just finish that and then we'll get a biscuit." And then
See, that's cute though.
one mouthful. Yeah, one mouthful. "Can we have a biscuit, Daddy?" I'm like, "I've just told you, yes. One more mouthful." "Can I have a biscuit?" Oh, yeah, you can. It gets old very, very quickly.
So do I.
But yeah.
It's like
Oh yeah, you're ancient. I'm
it's like on
ancient
my
as well. It's my birthday this week.
on my very few days off. Obviously I can't go anywhere. I have to stay in the house. So when I'm going to the bathroom and then I'm washing my hands and there's a mirror above the toilet, which we do not have at work, above the sink, which we do not have at work, is that with all the natural light coming into the bathroom, the more I'm looking at myself in the mirror during the day, the more grey hairs I'm seeing on my head.
Oh no.
So I'm not a fan of this quarantine.
I'm quite lucky. I don't have any greys yet.
Give it time, boy. Give it time.
Just as your missus is currently kind of trying to slyly hide that bottle of Just for Men she's into your shampoo.
How does my hair stay so lush? Thoriel. Cause he's worth
I was
it.
going to say, at least if my missus was going to go grey, she could like dress up like Storm and we could do like the whole X-Men sort of fantasy thing. But then again, to be fair, that would have to go that extra step. She'd probably have to black up, so it would be a little bit offensive.
Yeah, just a
So,
little. See, it's even
And you'd
worse
have to
for
glue
me
up.
because, like, not only am I getting like grey hairs and that I'm probably losing hair at a rate of knots, literally knots.
Are you?
Yeah. Like when I've emptied the bath, there's like hair in it. I'm like, oh, well, that's some I'm
So like someone's
missing.
liquidised a dwarf in there.
Well, to be fair, when you dropped the dog food off the other day, I didn't notice that you were losing hair at all.
Oh, thank you.
Well, you shouldn't be able to see his greys at 2 meters
He was
distance,
blinded
should
by
you?
my sausages.
Yes,
Oh,
your
that-
meaty elk sausage.
That was the greatest delivery that I've ever received.
Drive-by
those that weren't
sausage
there,
lobbing.
Which is yeah, that's literally it. He's just like, "I've got to keep it 2 meters," and just launches a pack of sausages out of a moving car at me. And to be fair, it was some nice sausage, but it was
it
was like
was.
the most. It was a unique delivery experience. And
Like,
I've ordered some
so,
Hermes before as well. So
Tesco will be listening to this. You go, that's how we do it. That's how we
we're
deliver
not even going
at
to
a
stop.
safe distance.
So,
We'll just have someone in the
me
back
and
lobbing it
Martin-
up like paper boy.
me and Martin are in agreement that Joe has nice sausage.
Yeah, I'll give that to him.
Well, that's two names.
So,
That's
yeah.
2 names I'll add to the book.
People who like my sausage.
Yes. Now that makes...
It's, uh,
Hang on while I count all these. 2 people!
oh my god.
Well, that's a lie. You
So,
don't count as
yeah.
people. So,
Oh,
how, apart
take
from...
it back. I've had better sausage.
If I could mute your microphone, I would, but you're plugged into the telly, so you come on the same band as Jamie, so I can't mute you. I'd
Also,
have to
it'd be
mute
less entertaining,
both
let's
of
be
you.
honest.
Well, I'll just recount tales of my sausage lobbing.
I'm sure that sounds like a Monty Python sketch or something like that.
Sausage
The
lobber.
Sausage lobber. or
It's what
something.
midget
Yeah.
Scottish people do because they can't lift cabers.
Oh, God.
So, apart from hours and hours of Paw Patrol and PJ Masks, how have you been spending your days in quarantine?
Me?
Yes. Well, both of you, really.
It's difficult without the eye contact. I have been digging a very, very, very big hole in Minecraft.
Okay. Got to have a hobby.
That's as interesting as you get. I thought I've dug another hole, which I worked out by doing math. Yeah, maths. I did over 500,000 blocks. Now this one, I reckon, is going to have just shy of 2 million blocks when it's all done.
Wow.
And that's like just one at a time. It's going to take years.
Can you not
something
do
to do,
something
innit?
productive?
Yes, like go to work or no, I cannot.
Okay, fair enough.
I did the washing up.
Ooh,
Technically, I've done something useful around the house. Yeah,
yeah.
I've done that like
And you fed the child.
2-3 times. I fed. Yep, the child's been fed. Didn't feed the lizard today. No,
No,
which isn't a euphemism.
no,
for
it
those that
isn't.
don't know.
He has an
Although
actual lizard.
Yeah,
A
he
bearded
had
dragon.
salad. He had salad yesterday, and he had a load of it left over. So
What do you
He'll
call
be
your
fine.
lizard?
I'll
What
feed him
is he?
tomorrow.
Let the people know.
he is Albus, the lizard, or if you talk to my 4-year-old, Albus,
Albus.
like many O's.
No,
Yeah.
give us his full name. Come on.
What Albus Frederick? What is it? Wulfric? I can't remember. It's the same
Albus
as the one in the
Wolfric
book.
Brian Percival.
Yeah, but with Dolby rather than Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And what type of
Yeah.
lizard is it?
it is a bearded dragon,
Ah,
and he is kind
classic.
of a yellowy, ever so slightly orangey in the right light sort of colour.
see, I like
So
all
he's
lizards.
not quite.
I like all
Mm.
lizards, but I put bearded dragons on the same level as like leopard geckos. That they're just the norm. Like when everyone says, "Oh, got lizard,"
Well-
what is it? Oh, it's a bearded dragon. Oh, it's a leopard
Either
gecko.
beardy or a leopard, yeah.
Well, the thing with beardies, I mean, I don't know geckos, but the thing with beardies, they're not difficult to look after. I mean, apart from having an enclosure for them, once you've got the enclosure, it's no more or less work. In fact, it's less work than looking after a hamster, because hamsters
Yeah,
are shit
I get it,
all the
'cause
time.
I've got a
Whereas
snake.
beardies are like every so often. Yeah,
I've got a snake,
but
and
snakes are even easy. I mean, how often
Well-
is it easy? Like every 5 or 6 days you feed them?
it's
like that,
about once
or-
a fortnight.
Yeah.
Just pop a mouse
So I
in.
mean, he
That said,
well,
that
to put it-
said, he is picky about where his mice come from. He won't eat Pets at Home's mice. Yeah.
Must be a smell or something.
And that's not me just like whispering in his ear on the night going, "You don't like Pets at Home." That's of
Well-
his own accord. He just doesn't like Pets
So
at
is this
Home's
where
mice.
is this where you tell us now that you're a parcel tongue?
Yes, I'm a parcel tongue. I actually am a Slytherin. No euphemism.
I'm a
Martin.
Ravenclaw.
Oh,
I know that's why you're laughing, so
slightly
just
nonsense.
don't even.
Well,
Nothing about
When
Chamber
I
of
went to
Secrets or
see-
anything like that.
oh, but I want to tell the story.
Oh,
about
tell the
last
story.
film
We've
Man
all
in the
heard
cinema.
this story.
Yeah, just
Well,
humour
Well,
him.
it was good. Yeah, it was good because like when the dude at the back of the cinema just yells out, "But he's going to be slithering into a Chamber of Secrets," it was just brilliant because everyone just nearly died laughing. It was just
I guess you had to be
genius.
there.
genius.
Yay, death. That's funny.
Yeah, but it's like
Anyway.
old news now, isn't it?
Back to lizards and that.
A
talking
basilisk
about
is a
how
lizard,
infrequent.
but they have legs.
Is it a
Yeah,
reptile or is it a lizard?
yeah, the one in
Basilisk?
Harry Potter didn't. It was more like a snake.
I suppose it depends on the mythos. Some places, basilisks are snakes, some they're lizards.
I mean, like real life ones.
Oh, they're real life lizards called basilisks then.
Yeah, I believe so. Google it.
And so obviously they don't turn you to stone when they look at you out like that, but
No, they're not Medusa. Yeah, so
Yes,
there.
I must apologise. My headset died, and then it came back. That was weird.
Well, we
Oh, I
were
wondered why it was
concerned
so
that you'd
peaceful.
gone a bit quiet. I thought,
Yeah, it just
he's
died. It says it's
plotting
got-
something,
it
or
says
he's
it's got full
eating his
battery.
other cookie. Yeah, but if
No,
you
that's
if you don't
not-
flick your controller every so often, it'll power down, won't it?
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that could have been it then.
I assume it would be. So, Jamie, with your stint of being off, what were you doing? How did you pass your days? Because you were like, you had to, because you were not well, you had to like properly self-isolate. You just weren't allowed out, were you?
Yeah, for the first couple of days I was literally just trapped in my bedroom because of the symptoms, but then on the third day it became apparent because I felt like instantly better except for a sore throat and swollen tonsillitis. It's like,
On the
okay,
third
that's what
day,
it was. It was tonsillitis. Yeah.
on the third day of quarantine, your
then-
true love gave to you a hazmat suit and a cup of coffee.
Yeah. But then
done.
it was just I treated it as like any other day that I wasn't at work that Sharon was. You know, I was, even though she wasn't at work, I was just washing up, tidying, occasionally playing with the kids.
Sea of Thieves.
Cleared the backyard. Yeah, Sea of Thieves with you. I played quite a bit. When one of my first things I did when my isolation period did end was I took my bike to the shop and got that fixed. So now
did you
once
finally get your
lockdown
bike
ends,
fixed then?
yeah, my bike is 100% road ready again. So I
Was
just
it
need
expensive?
the lockdown to end. No, it was really cheap actually. 50 quid for everything it needed doing.
That's all right for a bike you won't
What
use
needed
for
doing?
ages.
It needed both pedals needed replacing.
See,
the chain
pedals
was
are
all rusty, but I
expensive.
don't know
That's
whether
about a tenner in itself. Chains are expensive.
Yeah,
That's
the
about
chain-
20 quid.
The chain was rusty. I don't know whether he just oiled it or whether he replaced it, but either way, he's done something with it because it's black again instead of rusty. The left brake had rusted shut. The right brake cable had snapped. Both tires were flat.
Oh, there's
and the
nothing
seat had
worse than
become
having
so-
to replace a brake cable. Oh, that's
Yeah,
a job I'll never want to
The
do
seat
again.
the seat had become so loose it felt like it was attached by like a single sheet of metal.
Because you were
And there
sat
was
there.
something else. Oh yeah, all four brake pads needed replacing. So we did all that for 50 quid.
That's a bargain. I'd go to
Yeah.
them as well.
I mean, when I said to my mum all the things that were wrong with it, she said, "Blimey, that's going to cost a lot. Wouldn't you be better off getting a new bike?" Well, that bike cost 150 quid, and it
See,
cost
that's
me
not
50
bad
quid
for a
to
new
have it
bike
repaired,
either.
So
150 quid.
no. Well, that was from a shop that's no longer with us. It shut down a couple of months before this whole thing started.
Right, so it's just shut down for this period then.
No, it shut down, and it closed. It went out of business.
Oh. Or is that where you got your
happened
bike
a couple
from?
of months-
or-
Yeah, that's where I got my bike from. But
right,
it
okay.
shut down a couple of months before the COVID-19 outbreak, so that's not to blame for it.
Okay.
Call it what it is. It's the Kung Flu.
Everyone was kung flu fighting for toilet
Or the
paper.
Wuhan flu, as you called it.
You what?
Yeah, but to call it COVID-19 isn't
It's bat sniffles.
inaccurate because that's its scientific name. Like,
Yeah, but to call it-
Spanish Spanish flu will have had a scientific name of some sort. I just don't know what it was.
Yeah,
Spanish
so
fluish.
by the logic that you've just given, to call it the Chinese virus or the Wuhan flu is also not inaccurate because that is where it originated from.
Oh no, it's not inaccurate. But if I want to call it COVID-19, you can't tell me off for that because it's not the wrong name.
I think
Oh,
we
I
should.
can't-
Whoa! I think we should just stick to calling it COVID-19, so everyone in the world knows what we're on about. Which is a bit hard not to know what we're on about at this point in time.
I was going to say it's pretty much worldwide.
We're all stuck in
Although
our houses.
I have learned, thanks to my good friend Yakko Warner of the Animaniacs, that there are some nations of the world that still don't have a single confirmed case of it yet.
There's some isolated communities out there. Like I heard on the
No,
radio,
well, not
there were.
just isolated communities, but Tibet. There's no cases in Tibet yet. Well, no confirmed cases anyway.
Yeah.
Well, if you believe the Chinese government, they completely eradicated it, and all the new cases are just foreigners coming in and importing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So, I
weird
mean,
that
it's-
people are
it-
importing
it's-
things into China.
Yeah.
Dodgy knockoffs,
Mind you,
I
that-
might add.
It'd be brilliant. Was it like
Off-brand
COVID-19 and a
things.
half? Or...
Yeah, it's like
You know,
Yeah.
do you
it's like a
reckon-
British Wish product for China.
Do you reckon if you went to the black market and you could buy COVID-19 as a biochemical weapon, the container it came in underneath, would it say made in China?
No, because
Well,
they'd
you
want
do
to
know that-
deny all knowledge of it.
There was a report released that last year there was a scientist dude flying from China to America who was caught with the SARS virus in a vial in his suitcase. So there has been, and that's not the only incident, there has been incidents of Chinese scientists illegally importing viruses and deadly diseases and shit into the States. So there we go. They're all
times.
evil, everyone.
Everyone's
Yeah.
evil. Everyone knows
I can
that.
believe it.
Yeah.
People
Right,
equal
I'll say-
shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
not everyone's shit. You get some nice people. Like people who make cookies, they're good.
And the people that are sat here talking now.
Yeah, we're all good.
Jury's out, but you know.
Ooh.
And my silent wife next to me, she's good as well.
Silent wife. That's the second Christmas song I've got into this podcast already.
Wait, what was the first
Hmm.
one?
The third day of quarantine.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I could bring out
Oh,
a whole new album. Whoa, just think.
Oh,
Joe's
my
Christmas
God.
parody songs.
Boris, the Red-Nosed Prime
Just-
Minister.
Well, he is a bit at the minute.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Just seen a video of him, and he does not look well at all.
he says that he's getting better now, doesn't he? But he's still just got a temperature.
Yeah, in the video,
Well-
he doesn't look well.
To be fair, before he caught it, he looked ill because the dude will have been working sort of like
Non-stop,
Very-
yeah.
non-stop, and he has got, like him or hate him, he's got a lot of like responsibility sort of on his shoulders. So that is enough to run anyone and make them feel a little bit sleepy. You know what I mean?
Well, that's it. I mean, the hours that will be pulling in. I mean, obviously, if you don't get enough sleep, your immune system drops. So he's probably just crashing,
Yeah.
which, you
Just
know,
important.
I've been working a lot of hours
Jim's a
too,
monster.
but at least I still look good. Don't all cheer
But
at
if you
once,
had
will
to
you?
self-isolate, like he's doing at work, would that mean you'd have to kit down on all like the dog food and where else?
I'd probably just have to like sell stuff online or something. I don't know. I don't know how I could do my job from home apart from like run the Facebook page or something. Like I keep seeing these like really amusing tweets of like when they first announced that, oh, if you can work from home, you have to work from home, and like someone on Twitter had put on like, well, guess I'm tarmacking the front room tomorrow then.
Yeah, some of
I
us really
like it.
can't work from home.
No, like I
I mean,
couldn't.
what, am I supposed to kidnap all the old people and bring them here and look after them?
I wouldn't advise that you do that.
No, I
To be
wouldn't.
fair-
I fear for my house.
To be fair, he does work in a dementia home, so they probably wouldn't realise that they weren't there, would they? That's
That's
a
not the
horrible
issue.
That's a bit harsh, I know. But yeah, don't kidnap old people, folks.
Yeah, it's not wise. So yeah, I mean, I'm very limited what I can do from home. Like if everything went into full lockdown, then yes, I'd probably have to be at home or go to work and do deliveries. Because I mean, we
If
are
everything went into full
essential.
lockdown, if everything went into full lockdown, I would hope and pray that I'm at home when it happens.
Yeah, otherwise
I
you'd
think
have
they'd
to
let
camp
you
out at
get
work.
home.
Yeah, we would. We would if the home ever becomes infected, like if there's actual cases there.
Wasn't there one home in
Any
Scarborough
staff?
that does?
No. Possibly. It's not ours though.
I can't remember which
But
one.
no,
it was.
if our home did have an infection, a confirmed infection of COVID-19 there, whatever staff are in there, whatever people are in that building, staff, residents, visitors, district nurses, whatever, not allowed to leave for 2 weeks. So the staff would have to work in shifts, rotating. Some would be sleeping in empty rooms while others are on shift, and so on and so forth.
I guess Sea of Thieves night would be out of the question then.
So is that like an official policy?
Yeah,
or
pretty
some
much.
shit?
It is, yeah.
That's
I would have to hope that it would happen during the day when there's more staff on, because there's a lot less staff on at night, and we would not be able to cope during the day.
Well, I'll say if they're going like full on hardcore lockdown, I've got a sleeping bag of tents and camo paint, so I'm going Tarzan. I'm living in woods. It's my plan.
Yeah, you have said you were going to do that.
You'd have to get to the woods first, without getting stopped by
I've
the police.
I've been practicing my running.
I mean, running's easier because then you can avoid
No, you've been
roadblocks.
practicing your jogging. You're going to jog away from them.
He's not going to jog
Yeah.
with his backpack full of camping equipment.
Mind
Well,
you, do you think the cops would stop him? I mean, like if they
Not
said,
if you're
"Where are
on
you going?"
foot, because you could just
look down at home.
They're on the roads like stopping cars for like unnecessary travel.
Yeah, but if there's total lockdown where you're not supposed to leave at all, and if they said, "Where do you think you're going? You're not supposed to leave your home," and he said, "I'm actually leaving Scarborough
see,
and going to camp in the forest away from people," do you think they'd allow it?
No,
Because it's not going to another person, is it?
No, but then that could just potentially be spreading it to near a community that's
who?
not infected.
But he's not going to another community. He's going to the forest.
Well, they don't know that. I mean, if the police pull me out, I could be like,
massive
"Yeah,
camping bag on his back."
I'm going to the moon," and they're like, "Well, okay, I'll let you go." It's like you can say anything, don't mean that
Are
you're
you
going to do
seriously
it.
comparing saying you go to the moon is comparable to I'm going to the forest?
You'd need a bag to go to
Considering
both.
we have several forests outside Scarborough.
Yeah, well, this would be the interesting thing. Like, if he goes on foot, then it's that whole adrenaline thing of like, you take the back alleys to where you can go. Like, you hear a car coming, so duck into someone's garden, wait for the car to pass, and like move a bit forward. So you could be crafty with it. Like once you get to the cinder
This
track,
is
you
Martin
can
we're
like
talking about.
you can get that all the way to Scorby, then hop over Scorby Road and into Dalby. Well, you start off at like like Howard-Dale, Silfo, and anywhere around there will do.
Howardale, I'd probably just camp there.
I know. In Dalby Forest, you can go deep, but like still be near the children's play
So you
area.
can go-
so you still
you
can
can
go
go
on the
deep in Dalby.
swing. You can. I put the D in Dalby. You can go on the swings and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm on his wavelength. I've got my tent ready. I can go with him.
Yeah. As long as you pitch 2
I'm
meters
buggered.
away, then we're all good.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. Yes, everyone's got to stand like 2 meters away from each other, but then say like you stood 2 meters, or again on like some of these Facebook pages I'm following, there's some really weird things like stay 2 velociraptor lengths away from each other, or 2 chupacabras away from each other, and things like that. So you're effectively, to some degree, having to shout to the person you're talking to. Would that be classed as antisocial behaviour?
I don't know.
I don't think
But-
so, because you're not far enough away to have to shout loud enough for it to be a problem.
No, you should. I mean, come on, you've got deaf residents, surely. I know I have deaf customers and customers that can't read. At work, we currently have like a one in, one out kind of system for customers, and some of them just completely blank the sign and just walk straight on in because they can't bloody read. So, people can't read, people can't talk. Is there anyone
My
there?
favourite one.
Oh, yes, there is.
I'm here. I'm trying to tell an interesting and relevant story.
I'm listening.
The meme. Yeah, you better be. Yeah. No, the meme that I read, and it says, if you can smell the fart, you need to be further apart. And I thought,
Half the time, I feel like I
really-
can smell your fart from here. And I'm
exactly. I was
far
gonna say,
more than 2 meters
for
apart
me,
from you.
that is going to be my justification for being in the woods, because that is about where I'd need to be for people to not smell my farts.
Depends on which way the wind's blowing.
So remember that walk we went on, Martin?
Oh, Jesus Christ. We Jamie and I went on a walk along Skirby Seafront, and
Long
it was,
before this COVID-19 thing.
Yeah, and the wind was blowing that badly that there was a genuine notice out for people not to walk along the seafront and not drive along the seafront unless necessary. And, we nearly got blown off our feet at one point. Yet, in the face of this, Jamie farted, and like 2 minutes later, despite wind nearly blowing us over, I could still smell his fart. Like, well, the only thing I can think of is it circumnavigated the globe and then hit us in the face a second time. That's the only way.
That was on the walk there as well, when the wind was blowing from behind us. On the walk back, it got so strong at one point that we were walking at a 45-degree angle, physically pushing against the wind as if there was something tangible there. And I let out a fart.
Nearly
I said, they're going to
crawling
smell
at
that in
one
Whitby.
What day was
I'm
this?
surprised Whitby still.
Oh, God, I don't know.
Was it a Saturday?
Early February? Possibly.
I honestly don't. No, it won't have been Saturday because I wasn't at work.
Well, I've slept since then, so I couldn't tell
It'll
you.
have been
I
a
can't
Thursday
remember
or a
why I
Friday.
couldn't go. I was probably working. Let's face it, I'm always
It's a
working.
good job you didn't. You would have been on your ass.
Well, no, because I'd have both of you holding one of my hands.
He hasn't got as
I'd be
far
like a
fall,
little
hasn't he? We'll just
kite.
put a bit of string around him. We'll just fly him like a fucking parachute. It'd be brilliant.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, just before this whole no one's allowed out kind of thing, I was at the last board game night while lockdown is in thing, and we made a point of playing Pandemic, which is actually a really good board game. And a fitting end to board game night until this whole quarantine thing is lifted.
Well, as someone did point out, what businesses are left after we're finally allowed to go outside the house are going to be absolutely rammed when people are allowed out. Like, cinemas should be full, I guess, if people have got money.
Yeah, I was going to say, think of the money they'll make.
That's if they release any films as soon as it's lifted, because everyone's been pushing releases of films till next year now.
I imagine the previous films will run a bit longer. Like, they'll probably put Sonic the Hedgehog back on again because its time was cut short.
I think that's done. Like, I wanted, before this all kicked off, I wanted to go see Invisible Man. And they've done this thing now where some, like, premiere films, you can now rent them for like 2 days or something. I think it's like Sky or something. But have you seen how much these films are to rent?
No.
Well, they're charging the same as what a cinema price would have been.
No, they're not.
And they're saying, oh, it's just like going to the cinema.
They're not, because
in the States,
you can rent a film. You can rent The Invisible Man, and it's $15.99 for a 2-day rental.
Jesus.
Now that's fine if you've got a house with a number of people in, because then say like the cinema we go to in York is like £5 a ticket. So any like 3 people or more can watch it, then it's paid for itself. I'm sat on my own here, the only one wanting to watch it. I'm not spending £15.99 on a film that I don't own.
Well, no, you wouldn't.
Well,
And The Invisible Man's not exactly a family-friendly film, so it's not one. Come on, kids,
No.
let's go watch The Invisible Man.
I think they are. They're well. They're going to make money because people are stupid, but it is just a terrible. We're trying to milk money out of a situation sort of thing.
I mean, like I say,
doing.
it's good if there's more, like 3 or more people going to watch it. Unless you live in London, where it's probably like $15.99 for one ticket anyway. But no, just for me to watch it, I'd have to watch that film 3 times to pay for itself. If it's good, fair enough. I've got 48 hours to do it. But if it's bad, I'm not going to force myself to watch it another 2 times.
Well, no, you wouldn't.
And especially when it comes out on DVD, when it'll be a tenner. So it's like, no, you're all right.
What is, if any, what films have either of you seen at the cinema? I know Jamie's never been to the big rectangle with the moving pictures, but Joe,
Fuck off! I've been with you several times.
The amount it's more surprising when you have seen a film than that you haven't now.
That is true.
But anyway, either of you, have you ever seen a film at the cinema that you've just gone to see again and again?
Yes, a few.
Peter Jackson's King Kong.
How many times?
Twice.
Is that all? You weakling.
Well, yeah, it was kind of. I watched it up here with my at the time girlfriend, and then went down south to see my family, and me and my cousin went to go see it.
Yeah. Well, so well, it's not the same film, but same thing. I went to see the was it 2009 when the reboot Star Trek came out? And that with Chris Pine and whatnot in it. And I can't remember which way around it is. I think it had gone. I was going to see it. I think I was going to see it one day, and my brother-in-law said, "Do you want to go see it the day before?" So I went to see it the day before, and I thought, well, I was going to go see it the next day, so I just went to see it again the next day, because it was. I enjoyed that film. It was good. They got shit, but that one in the cinema, that was an experience.
When I've been to the cinema multiple times, this is like back in the day when, like the Hollywood Plaza and the Futurist, it was like £3.50 to watch a film. So it was like it was
back
nothing.
In there.
Yeah, literally back in the day.
Yeah.
So like Signs, I saw Signs at the cinema so many times. Many times. I can't even remember how many. There was that. I saw Scary Movie 3 multiple times because I found it hilarious. War of the Worlds, the Tom Cruise one. I saw that multiple times as well.
Why?
Because I really like it. I really like it.
You do know
Joe's explained this one before.
Right?
Yes, it's a Steven
Joe's
Spielberg film,
explained this
so
one
it's
before in
good.
a previous paddy.
Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
Yes.
Oh. Well, Jamie hasn't.
I'm just.
Well, there's a shocker.
No, but you did explain this in a previous paddy though before, Joe. You said about how if Tom Jones, you know,
it's not
Tom
unusual.
Jones.
If Tom Cruise respects the director he's working under, i.e. Stephen King, he will let
Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg, for fuck's sake. He will follow what they say. Whereas if he doesn't, he will try and take over and make the film himself, which is when he ends up making shit films.
That's when he
Like
made
did
The
with
Mummy.
The Mummy film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
This is the
just-
conversation we had
It
on the
was.
previous paddy.
It was even in like the rewrite of his contract that he has most of the creative control for that film, and that's why that film tanked. And because this, like, an actual fact is that he said that he wants more screen time than the actual Mummy that the film is about. So it just became Mission Impossible with mummies.
He's the main protagonist of the film, isn't he?
Yes.
Well, the hero
He's
does
also-
tend to have more screen time than the villain.
Yes, but the film was supposed to be more. Like, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde were supposed to have more thing. It was supposed to be a horror film rebooting, like.
They were going to make like a horror universe, weren't they?
Yeah, like the MonsterVerse.
And then Tom Cruise like Scientology all over it and just sort of
Yeah, he
yeah.
he threw his
Scientology
science
door.
religion jizz everywhere, and then we got that.
Yeah.
Which, it's all right, but I wanted to see a horror film and a horror series. I didn't want
See,
that.
when I heard it was a reboot of The Mummy, I didn't think of the original Mummy film, like the Hammer horror era.
Like
I
the
thought
Boris
The Mummy
Karloff
is in
stuff. Was
Brendan.
it?
Yeah, I was thinking The Mummy is in Brendan Fraser Mummy,
See,
which is what turned me off it, because I really loved that series.
Yeah,
the
but
Brendan Fraser's
if-
Mummy, I love that.
if you look really closely in this reboot of The Mummy, if you look really closely, like the Book of the Dead is like in the background from that Mummy film.
Oh wow!
But anyway, this is Quarantine, Paddy. Welcome back. So,
Hello again.
So,
Wait, where did we go?
everywhere. That was off topic, which is our thing, I suppose.
I was going to say that's kind of our trademark, isn't it? Just going absolutely off topic, talking random battling.
So, do you think that everything that's going on right now, we are, this is like going to be like a historical event? Are we
Definitely is.
living through a historical event right now?
We are.
Is
There's-
this
there's
something
too
that
much
is
that's
going to
already
be
changed.
spoken about like decades down the line? Is this going to be
So
taught
much
in
has happened
schools?
already.
We're
it's
still
not
going to be
even
in
over yet.
quarantine decades down the line, so there won't be any schools.
Schools are at home now, where people get
But
their
no, yeah,
news from the Mail Online.
Well, it already is sort of a historical thing. 'Cause, I mean, it's never before in the history of like illnesses have they managed to lock down the entirety of the civilized world. And that it's just
Yeah, because
hasn't
even
happened.
the Black Death was just sort of Europe, wasn't it? It wasn't worldwide.
No.
Well,
it
to be
was-
fair, back then they didn't have the sort of transport infrastructure, and they didn't have the Chinese Communist Party either. But then again, I won't go there. So yeah, it's yeah. But no, it is a thing. It's a thing that's happening. So yeah,
Yeah.
stuff, things.
So-
There you go.
We're all men here. Answer me
Yeah.
this.
Are we?
Well, some of us are. Answer me this. Are you in any way
Okay.
scared of the outcome?
No.
Are we scared of the outcome in what respect?
Like, are you scared that you might get it, for example?
No.
Not particularly.
If you get
I'm
it,
not
do you
scared of
feel
the
like you will
illness itself
survive
because-
it?
Yes, because me, Sharon, and the kids, we're all in perfect health. We're not vulnerable. Well, Sharon is technically vulnerable because she's got mild asthma, but her inhalers have dust on them that she doesn't need to use them that frequently. So, if any of us get it, no, I'm not scared. We'll be
Well-
down for a couple of days and then we'll be back as normal.
I know there are people out there who have died who haven't had underlying complications.
Well, now
so there
this
are
is where
small percentage.
this is where it gets technical because they don't have a documented previous health issue, but given the nature of how people are dying, the cause of death being COVID-19, they're not doing postmortems. So there could be an underlying health issue that even the person themselves did not know about. So they're saying
But
like
one
they have no documented history. Doesn't mean that they've been tested for it,
So-
but they could have an underlying
So-
health issue.
But what I'm saying is, even if they let's assume that these people genuinely didn't have any underlying health problems.
Okay.
If you look at the amount of people who've caught the virus, the amount of people who have lived through the virus, and
Which is
that
something that
number
the
alone-
news doesn't like to report on.
No.
But that number alone is vastly higher than the amount of people that have died from it. But then if you look at the amount of people that died from it, the amount of people that have died with no underlying health problems is an even smaller percentage of that overall whole. So statistically,
Whole.
you're probably, if you're a fit and healthy person, you're probably not guaranteed, but you're probably not gonna croak.
Well,
So
hopefully
yeah,
not.
so virally at least, I'm not as worried as some people are. The bit that worries me is that they have, like I discussed before we started recording with Jamie, the whole
But while Joe was
Palpatine
having
thing.
technical difficulties.
Yeah, with it was the whole thing of how the police and the authorities now have emergency powers that they are promised to give up when the crisis is over. I'm just like, yeah, just fucking put your hood on and get your red lightsaber out now. Don't even try bullshitting us. And that, and
I was going to say, has anyone watched episode 3?
Yeah, but that is a thing that I find a slightly greater concern personally, is that these powers have been voted into existence, and as far as I'm aware of yet, there isn't a specific way of taking them off the books. I think there's like, they get reviewed in like 3 years' time or something like that, which if it's over by then, no one's going to care, and they'll just say, we'll keep them on the books. And
What,
for
like
a civilized
stopping
country
people
to
from
have...
travelling?
Well, yeah, it's just the whole idea. And if you look at how the authorities have been before, when it was guidance, or it still is to a certain extent, to certain things, when it was guidance, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that, just certain police forces around the country were just interpreting it however they wanted. Like one police force said, essential shops can stay open, but they are not allowed to sell non-essential items. So electronics or entertainment, as they put it, is a non-essential item. So they weren't. It's like shops selling bread and milk and stuff weren't allowed to have Easter eggs because it's a non-essential, and that isn't within their power to do. But they're just doing it anyway.
And I did buy a new telly,
and
it got delivered, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah,
that's not essential. What you're playing at?
It is essential because
well,
everyone likes a new telly.
That's the point. Did you enjoy watching the explosions on your new telly last night?
I did.
Explosions? Tell me more.
Well, if you followed me on Facebook, Martin, you'd know.
Well, I never pay attention to Facebook.
Me and Joe played Sea of Thieves last night, and when we finished doing our hunting and selling, we went round to 3 different fortresses and stole 29 gunpowder barrels, took them to a secluded island, peppered them around the ship in strategic places. Joe put, what was it, a banana?
A banana this time.
Yeah, Joe put a banana on the stove and left it to burn. And we watched as it set fire to the ship, and then all 29 barrels exploded in a glorious pyrotechnic display.
Yeah, I mean, you're not giving enough credit to the third member of our team there, which is our ship.
The banana. Oh, yeah, sorry, the glowy Kardashian.
Yes.
Now, the thing is, I really, really, really want to be able to take the piss, but having already admitted to just spending 2 weeks digging a big hole in Minecraft, I don't think I can.
Yeah, you have no legs to
It's
stand
less than
on.
an hour. But seriously, Martin, go on my Facebook and watch the video. It's a minute long.
Of the glowy
The
Kardashian.
problem is, the majority of the stuff that you put on Facebook is one of those, do this test or copy
Yeah, I'm
and
finding a
paste
lot of them
this,
lately,
or
Jamie.
What's the 8th picture on your photo thing and all that?
I haven't been doing that picture of photo thing.
But everything else I have.
But I mean, you know the type of post I'm going
it's
on
called
about.
being bored in quarantine. There's nothing going on outside. So there's
Just
nothing else to
do
put
what
on
every
Facebook.
other man
I
does
picked my
and
nose
masturbate.
today.
Dig a big hole.
Beat one out.
Dig for victory.
Yeah, just lock yourself in a room with a pack of Kleenex and don't come out until you've papered the walls.
Ew.
That's disturbing. Why was I expecting anything less off Martin, to be fair?
So, when do you think quarantine will be lifted? When do you think we can start moving
Well,
around?
they're reckoning it's going to be like 6 months, don't they?
Right, so, I hope the audio on this recording is really good because there'll be many more paddies like it, I assume.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
we can't really
that
do it in
depends. It's your
person.
show. It's whether you're free or not.
I am, so long as I don't get like ham radio interference.
And don't forget, you've already got other paddies that still need uploading yet. So
See, they're the backup
don't
paddies.
don't backlog yourself too much, man.
Oh, you know I will. I'm too busy working. I've been pulling in some 12-hour days some days. Work has been ridiculous during this whole
God, that takes
weird
me back to when I was in retail.
yeah, because like we're all in different backgrounds now. Like you're in, you're not
Yeah.
in old people, but you're
I'm in care.
you're doing old people. I'm
he's
Oh
not
my
in old
God,
people at
just
the moment.
stop.
He's gone home.
I'm in
I'm in
retail.
care.
Martin's in home, not a home, but his own home. But the general public, like, I'm probably going to die from exposure to idiots and people that can't read, and or have like
Yeah.
any knowledge
yeah.
of spatial awareness. Like everyone knows 2 meters away, so on and so forth. Some people just don't understand that, and they're like, they come up and like put your hand on their shoulder, and fair enough, I'm not going to think, well, I can't lick that shoulder later. It's like, dude, don't touch me. Like, there's generally a no-touch policy with me anyway when I don't know you, and just no.
I didn't know this.
Didn't you? Well, people that I don't know and customers don't generally count. I don't think some of them can, but like people in our spot, they haven't been panic buying. They've been like buying one extra of what they normally get, so they're like kind of like stocked up a little. Because generally a bag of dog food can last like a month, just over, whatever.
Yeah.
But they all of a sudden, everyone just started pouring in, and for days, as soon as we opened, they were piling in queues, just like getting bird seed or dog food or whatever. But it was manic, and then this whole quarantine thing came in. Then hundreds of people are ringing up wanting their food delivered. I'm going to work on a morning. I'm loading the van up. I'm out delivering all day. I'm coming back. For a number of days, the only time we had to do deliveries were after we'd closed. So I'm starting at 8. We shut at 6. We're going out on deliveries, and I'm back at 8 again. It's been long.
Okay, now I'm feeling a bit guilty.
I did 2 weeks straight without a day off because it's just been that crazy. And, like, we're running on, like, an acceptable level of staff for everything that needs doing gets done. But during all this, it's like, we just don't have enough time in the day. Hence why we're doing it at the end of the day. But it's been mental, and that like, I'm hugely important to my work, and I'm the one that's looked upon. I hope everyone's listening from my work. I'm like,
Hey, Raj,
he's lying. He's a twat. But really, I'm like, no, I'm good, and you all know it. They say I'm not.
Oh yeah, you're
but
always
then,
prompt with delivering to
but
us.
then there's trouble. Like something needs sorting. They're like, I'll get Joe. He'll know what to do. Damn right, I know what to do. But yeah, the general public, they're the worst, as you well know, because like shopping, like I had enough shopping. I had my lunches, I had my teas, whatever, and I get people coming in and saying, Morrison's don't have anything. They have nothing. Get this all the time, even now. I go shopping at about 6:30, 7 o'clock on the night now. I can walk straight in. I don't have to join a massive queue to get in because everyone's really 2 meters apart from each other. I'm going in, plenty of stuff. I mean, there's no like, well, there is now, but there weren't like your boring stuff, like your frozen foods, your ready meals, your tins of beans or whatever. They were all gone. But if you wanted anything fresh, or a bit of creative flair in the kitchen, there's plenty of stuff. But people just want the quick and easy things. So like, oh, no bloody anything. And there's still barely any toilet roll. I don't get the whole toilet roll thing. What are your thoughts on it?
I don't.
Well, just
COVID-19 doesn't make you shit yourself, so why is everyone going nuts for it?
Well, one person sneezes and 20 people crap their pants, so that's what it is.
So what happens if you go to the supermarket, it's fully laden, beginning of the day, covered in toilet roll, and you sneeze on it all? Then you see the sheer panic on people's faces because, like, I need the toilet roll, but I don't want the toilet roll. So it's a conundrum in their head. It's like, I need it, but they've sneezed on it.
I like the places where the shops are limiting them to like one per person. It's like, yeah, they should have done that a lot earlier, to be fair.
Yeah, but like no one was expecting. I mean, fair enough, people panic buying, especially in the UK, because this isn't a thing that we've ever dealt with. Like, it's unheard of. But all of a sudden, mass panic. Shit, grab the toilet paper.
The first I heard of the mass panicking in the toilet roll, I thought, oh, bloody Americans, there they go again. Then I read through it, it's like, oh, shit, it's actually here. Oh, okay, that's different.
The thing is, now, sewers are getting blocked up with, like, things that shouldn't be flushed down the toilet, which means that many people, pardon the pun, were caught short and didn't get toilet roll. But it's happened that fast. Like, all of a sudden, but because everyone's been panic buying toilet roll and there's none left, it's like people are having to use other things and flushing them down. And it's like that happened really quickly. And it just shows how greedy and stupid the public are.
You know what the first thing I'm going to do when the quarantine ends?
Buy some toilet paper.
I'm going to get a plumber to install a bidet.
See, that's it. People with bidets are like, foolish people. Petty people with their petty human ways. The lower class.
But the whole
you can't fit a bidet in your bathroom.
I will find a way.
You can't swing a hamster in your
Japanese
bathroom.
Toilets. I'll get one of them Japanese bogs that squirts it. Has a little light display and a little fountain in it.
Isn't that like a water feature?
It's the one thing I will give the Japanese is they know how to dump. Yeah. Brings a whole new meaning to doing a floater, doesn't it, if it swims around after you've done it?
That's like proper sushi, that is.
Or is it the brown trout or something?
Rather that than a rainbow trout.
The whole toilet roll thing is a worry for people like me, though, who suffer like colitis or IBS and who perhaps do have to buy more toilet roll than normal people do. More often, sorry.
Yeah.
I have to buy toilet roll a little bit more frequently than most people do. Not noticeably, but like, say, I don't know, what's the average people buy toilet roll like normally when they're not panic buying?
I don't know. They just get a pack of 4 every time they need it.
My missus usually gets it.
Typical answer. The missus usually gets it.
I never get a pack of 4. I always get like one of the really big packs, like the pack of 9 or 12 or whatever they are.
So how are you for toilet roll?
I can feel a dump coming on. I've got to get some more.
At the minute, we've got about 9 rolls, so we're doing all right.
You're doing all right.
Yeah, but like I said, I go through it a lot quicker than most people do.
That's why you should get a bidet installed.
Yeah, I probably should, shouldn't I? If I had the money, I would do.
Low budget, just grab the shower head.
I don't think it stretches that far.
Have you learnt the one-fingered wipe yet?
Oh.
God. No, I'm not. I know of the one-fingered wipe. I'm not doing that.
Can we not talk about the one-fingered wipe, please?
Yeah, let's not.
But because our conversation was so wholesome and yummy before.
if we're going to do that, we might as well talk about the clamshell method as well.
Demolition Man.
Do you know what? Yeah, I was going to say the free seashells. Has anyone figured that out yet?
There's
I
a
know
number
it.
of
I've
like,
not even seen the film, and I know it.
there's a number of people that get
Yeah,
it.
but do you know how they work?
Well, I'm pretty sure I do.
Can we not
There you go. Then.
talk about this?
Yeah, I was going to say I don't think you want me to say it out loud.
We can talk about it off camera
When
recorder,
fish
off
recorded, yeah.
recorder.
Out of all the
Well, and
things
then when I've said it,
we've
just
talked
turn
about
the recording
and
back
all the
on and say
conversations
Jamie was
we've
right
had,
or wrong.
Yeah.
the free seashells. That's the line. I've learned something today. I've learned something new.
Every day's a school day, which could be the same for people now that schools are closed. Yeah.
Homeschooling everyone.
Yeah. Are you
On
homeschooling,
that
Martin?
subject.
Or are you just teaching her how to dig a really big hole? Which is what you do all
She's
the
learnt-
time, both physically and verbally.
Yeah, no, just learn how to do the PJ Masks theme song. She can sing that now.
Oh, so you've been teaching music
Um,
lessons?
Yeah, it's music. It's computer generated, so it's IT, music, theatre as well. I'll call it. Yeah, it's a multidisciplined educational approach. That's what I'm calling it.
Cool. What about you, Jamie?
We've been trying, like, here and there, introducing things like getting Astrid to point out shapes, getting Kieran to write. They both enjoy doing a bit of crafting. Other than that, it's just playing and trying to keep Kieran's mind off it because he's really upset and beside himself that there's no school. He's both
does he like school?
energetic, and he does. He really loves it. So he's both wired and why. You know how kids get whiny when they're tired?
I do.
Well, he's like that, but also energetic at the same time because he's got no way of loosing this energy. So it's just, it's a nightmare for him. Astrid's not doing too bad though because, well, she's only 2.
Cool. So, have you all bought a hazmat suit yet then?
No.
No? Has anyone...
Although I did have an idea today.
Oh, God.
Go on.
Well, you know, there's people keep going out wearing these face masks.
Yes. That don't work. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I have a plastic steampunk mask that I bought from Sci-Fi. You know, one of the ones with like the hanging down round vent thing. You know, proper steampunk style mask.
Yeah.
I know that because we were both stood at the same stall, and as I was saying to the dude, I'd like to buy that. He was like, "I'm just selling it to this guy." And pointing at me.
Oh yeah, he did, didn't he? Yeah, I'm thinking of going out wearing that just to take the piss.
I think we should all get plague masks and go out in them.
What,
like
like a
proper
doctor's
plague
one with
Dr.
the
Beaks.
beak?
Yeah, with a beak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Do you know? In
Except
fact, do you know what?
I'd have to have the full outfit though, and I
Well,
wouldn't just
obviously.
be a plague doctor. I'd be SCP-049.
Do you want to be really, really inappropriate? All I need
What?
is you two, a wheelbarrow, and a blanket.
Bring out
And
your
all we
dead.
have to do is just the Monty Python. Bring out your dead.
We're just gonna like
And
start.
then you just hear my voice underneath the blanket going, "I'm all right. I got
I'm
better."
getting better.
Like, are we gonna have to
Oh,
like
how
start
inappropriate
painting
would that be?
red crosses on people's doors?
Yeah, probably.
Oh God, that would be
I
No.
suppose that'll bring a bit of humour into people's lives.
I'm quite proud of myself for my Facebook photograph that I did just before the lockdown happened. But you've both seen the profile picture, haven't you?
Your tin of beans or something.
The food one, yeah.
No, it's for those that don't know, which is everyone but you two. My profile picture was just before the lockdown happened, where I decided to have a Corona beer and a Chinese takeaway, and have that as my as my online profile picture. And I stand by that picture. It's still up there for
Well,
now.
I mean,
so it's
Everyone should know that the cure for coronavirus are lime wedges.
I thought you were going to say Lyme disease or something
No.
like that. Oh,
Because that's the
Oh,
best
I
way
just
to
realised
enjoy
something
your
really sad.
coronavirus. What?
ran out of beer.
Oh.
I've got no beer left. I'm
What
gonna have to bust open the hip flask.
Oh, it's not the one where you opened it and like the whiskey that you left in there was black.
It is the same hip flask, but I've washed it.
Oh no, I've got you beat. I've got him beat there, Joe. And actually, I think Martin was here to witness this. I had a bottle of
the
Baileys that I
Baileys.
hadn't had.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
see,
hadn't
that's
had it in
dangerous.
some time. I don't know how long it had been since I'd had it, but I opened the lid and it actually fizzed at me.
Oh.
Yeah,
Bailey
that's
shouldn't fizz.
that
That's
was
not
rank.
even the best part. I poured it
The
into
fa-
a glass to see what it was like. The consistency was absolutely fine. It smelled absolutely fine. I took the plunge and took a test. It tasted absolutely fine. So I drank the lot. I drank the entire bottle. Not a single problem afterwards. I didn't get sick or nothing.
The fact that you drank an entire bottle of Baileys.
No,
is
it wasn't an
something-
entire bottle. It was about a quarter of the bottle was left at this point.
Yeah, probably
Yeah,
because
'cause
the
that
What I
bottom
makes
was
it a
part,
whole lot
I drank
better.
everything that was left.
the bottom part was congealed and like cottage cheese stuck to the bottom of the bottle.
But it was just like when it fizzed, I was like, okay, that's different. I've never had Baileys do that before. But then again, it has been in my fridge quite a while.
Oh, that's disgusting.
I like
Dude,
Baileys.
you were there when I did it.
It still doesn't make it any better.
How do you have
Do you
your
know what we
Baileys?
need to?
In a
Me?
glass.
Do you have it
I
straight up?
don't.
Do you have
I
it with
generally don't.
ice? Or
Depends on my mood. I can have it straight up or with ice.
are
Or
you an
I can
original
have it in a
Baileys?
shot glass with
Or
sambuca.
have you tried any of the other flavours?
I have tried the other flavors. Yeah, the aforementioned fizzy Baileys was not actual Baileys. It was called Pasture Farm or something. It was like an Aldi's own.
That's
Well, it
probably
wasn't
why
Aldi,
it
but it was like
fizzed.
a shop's own. It was like a shop's own one.
Yeah,
But
I know
yeah,
the
I've
type you
had the
mean.
different flavors.
Have you tried
I
the
had
strawberries and cream
one I
one?
really did like. No, I haven't tried that yet. I did have. Oh God, this is going back to like 2007 or 8. It was back when I lived at Newby. I had a bottle of mint chocolate Baileys. And,
Oh, no.
oh my God, that was to die for.
I don't like mint things apart from mint.
Well, see, I do, but
Mint.
Like polos
my
are
best
fine.
mate at the time, he absolutely despised mint stuff. But it was New Year's Eve. Well, technically it was New Year's Day by that point, because it was like 3 a.m. We were both equally wasted, and I just passed him the bottle and said, "Here you go, get that down here." And I got the video set up on my phone of him drinking it. He's just like, "Oh, it's nasty." It was really funny.
See, the strawberries and cream one, I can tell you exactly what it tastes like. It tastes like strawberry Angel Delight made with Baileys instead of milk.
Yeah.
That does not sound appealing to me.
Yeah.
Now I want to actually make strawberry Angel Delight with Baileys instead of milk.
It tastes like strawberry Angel Delight
Butterscotch.
that you haven't let set, but more alcoholic, which is fine.
Butterscotch Angel Delight with Baileys.
Interesting.
I want to do that now.
Yeah, but it might like
Oh,
coagulate and start going all
yeah, it's a good
Angel
point. It
Delight-y.
might. One drink that when it first released, it was out in the shops, but since then you can only buy it online now, or so I've seen. I've never seen
Castlemaine
it since.
4X.
It's called Dooley's.
Oh.
No,
I remember
Best beer of all
Dooley's.
time.
Dooley's. You remember
Ghoulies.
Dooley's?
You like Ghoulies.
It was a orange and blue bottle. It was toffee vodka. Beautiful. It was proper thick and creamy like Baileys.
Oh, toffee vodka.
Oh, it was beautiful. But it wasn't toffee vodka as in like clear see-through like the one you can get from that Scarborough Sparkle.
Yeah, that
market
wasn't
thing.
there
It was proper.
the second time I went, and I searched everywhere for it, and it wasn't there. I was fuming, so I bought more
Yeah, well,
mead.
No, Dooley's isn't like that. Dooley's it looks and feels like Baileys. You know, it's proper thick and
It
creamy.
feels like it. You know, you get your hand in there and you run it through your fingers.
No, I mean when you drink it, it's a proper thick drink, not a runny one. I'm saying it's got the same consistency as Baileys.
Right. Okay.
You know exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. Just don't say it feels like it.
That was not me.
No. I know a Martin burp when I hear one.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny that one. I'm not ashamed.
You shouldn't
Yeah,
be.
that was a
Everyone
good
needs
belch,
their
I
own
must
creative
admit.
style.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, like, through everything that's going on, like, when the ban gets lifted, what's going to be? Has your perception of like normal life changed? Are you planning on changing things when everything goes back to normal? Like, are you like, I'm going to go out more, or I'm going to do this more?
Yeah, for the
I'm
first
good.
few weeks, I'm probably going to go out a lot more. Like my bike is going to get a lot of use, not just to and from work, but then once it settles down, all the shops go back to normal and life resumes to how it used to be, then it'll be like, all right, I'll go back to normal now.
I'm going to do what my original plan was that I couldn't do because of this. Is I'm going to go find the most remotest place in Scotland that I can find and just go camping.
See, this is what I said
Um,
on your chat thing, where it's like we need to you know, do a mass camp. We need to get like a group of us and go somewhere. Now,
Well, that
Yeah.
idea that I'd had about going up to the Lost Valley outside Glencoe, just go there, just get four or five guys, pack out, get in back in my car. We'll just go up there.
we take a five guys
Just go
with us.
camp there.
Have like exceedingly
Yeah,
expensive burgers and hot dogs.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll build an American burger joint in the arse end of nowhere in Scotland, just for a camping trip. But no, just do that. Just load of folk. Just go camping. Just sit there, little campfire, couple of beers. Go on the next day. Job done.
Right.
That'll be good. That's what I want to do.
This is going to be like really smooth. But everyone just be quiet now. Okay, that must have been nothing. Okay.
Right, that was weird.
Yeah, that was weird, and
Fair dues.
in no reason did we pause this so Jamie can have a wee break because he messaged me. Anyway, continuing. We were talking about things.
We were.
Yeah, I can't remember the things. It was like less than a minute ago.
Because it's.
We were talking about what we're going to be like when the lockdown's over and life
Oh
resumes to
yes.
normal.
So, what else do you think is going to change for yourself? Like, you said that you want to go out riding more. Any other things? Are there things that you take that you've not realised you've taken for granted, but all this time stuck at home, you're like, oh shit, I'm a dick.
Literally just the outdoors.
I'm going to buy a house with.
You've bought a house, you live in it.
I'm going to buy another house.
Can
I'll
you
sell
afford
this
that
one and buy
house?
one with... Nope. No, I can't. Thank you very much to my current employer who won't give me a single penny whilst the lockdown is happening. But yeah, have the opportunity that should another lockdown happen in the future, I would have a garden to be able to sit in.
So yeah, that would
isn't
be
just
nice.
a concrete rectangle.
A prison. So,
Genuinely, there are exercise yards in high security prisons that are bigger than what I have in my backyard.
and the men that will be in them will be a lot bigger as well.
Wah.
So,
Go on.
what do you think will change? Not with like us, not with like you personally, but like in the grander scheme, like the world. Like, what do you think will change?
I'm hoping there'll be a lot more distrust for the Chinese government.
I think there already is. I mean, like, countries
A
won't
lot
even
more
like
vocal distrust.
Huawei products in their country.
Oh well, that's a whole nother. If you've heard the theory going around that Huawei's 5G is what's caused the virus.
Oh, bloody hell, yeah.
Or the tinfoil hat wearers are
Tinfoil hat.
out.
Yeah.
There's some
Speaking of the
fucking-
film Signs,
I'm sorry, but that was
God.
brilliant. Damn it, I nearly lost my drink there.
careless.
But that's the thing that bothers me about Signs is why would a super intelligent alien race come to a planet and invade it when it's covered in 75% of an element that is deadly to them? It's just
To try
it
and show
doesn't-
the superiority.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, well,
the debate
all
of
they'd
like
have
the
to do is
water is holy water, and that's what hurts them.
Well, then all they have to do is just have some priest dip his wang in the sea and say a prayer, and then there
Well,
you go.
no doubt that would be
Just-
Mel Gibson.
Oh,
He'll get drunk, he'll
I
slag
could
off some
just
Jews, and then he'll go skinny dip in the sea and be like, right, this is blessed. And I'm not going to put on an
Oh,
Australian
yeah.
accent because that will be offensive. Because I know we have Australian listeners.
Do we?
Yeah, I've got two
Oh,
friends.
Hello.
Oh.
You do? Other than us?
Other
What,
than
we
you
I
have
was going to
two.
say, besides me and Martin.
Yeah, and they're Australian. They're probably listening. And
to-
Emma, who lives in Canberra, in Australia, is going to try and use her housemate's Xbox to do a usual Paddy
Oh.
from the
that
other
sounds cool.
side of the world.
We'll have to get little hats with little corks on them
No.
and everything. And sort of like,
See, this will
all
be the
that.
type of thing we'll talk about, like these stereotypes. And I've already been told that you'll only find them hats in gift shops at tourist shopping. Just like you'll only see Foster's in like speciality beer places on the bottom shelf covered in dust.
Now, I know obviously they don't wear them nowadays, but was there ever a time where Australians did wear those cork hats?
Yes, probably during cricket season for laughs.
Oh, okay. Wait, cricket the bug or the sport?
The sport. Crickets
right.
didn't go around wearing like cattleman hats with corks dangling off them.
No, but the corks were meant to ward bugs away or something, weren't they? So cricket season makes sense. You know, if there's too
That
many
was
crickets
that
around
was the old
bug
theory behind it. I don't know how true that is. Probably not.
you know, what one of
Yeah.
my favourite Australia sort of related incidents in my life was a friend of my wife's was travelling there years ago, and I genuinely convinced her that because Australia is on the other side of the world and it's upside down in relation to us, when she was flying there was going to have to be a point at which the plane would flip over so it'd be the right way up when it got there. And, and it was one of those things where I'd gone on with the bullshit for so much that you could see her sort of like beginning to doubt herself and think he might be right there. I was like, yeah, I'm proud of that one. I'm proud of that. My work is done there.
Well,
So, yeah.
congratulations to you.
But no, I had another friend who went to Australia, and we were doing the whole, before he set off the whole taking the piss with the usual stereotypes. And then he said they really don't do themselves any favours. Well, he was in Queensland and he did a skydiving trip, and they landed on the beach. He said, "Oh, we'll land on the beach and have a barbecue." And I thought, fair enough. But then he said he realised that all the way up the beach was like pre-built, coal-stocked barbecues everywhere, so people could just turn up at any point and just have a barbecue. I was like, they're really not
Yeah,
doing
that's
the
great.
stereotype
You
any
don't-
good there.
Well, no, they barbecue a lot of the food. It's a good,
Mm.
convenient, and healthy way of eating, I'm sure.
Well, that stereotype even makes it into Peppa Pig, doesn't it, Martin?
Oh God, where did they meet? Is
Kangaroo
it,
family comes to visit, and literally
Chloe
the first thing they do
Kangaroo
is
or
set up a
something?
barbecue.
Yeah. Oh, that's. Jesus. Don't get me started on Peppa Pig. The reason I hate Peppa Pig so much is why my daughter doesn't have a Yorkshire accent or anything remotely approximating one, is because she watched so much Peppa Pig growing up. She's got like an almost sort of like posh accent to a certain extent. and it's all because of that pissing pig. And
But
that
there's
who couldn't-
The
there's an
8-foot tall
episode of
pig or
Peppa
something.
Pig. There's an episode of Peppa Pig that's actually relevant to what's going on at the minute.
What, did they all get swine flu or something like that? No.
No, it's an episode called Pedro's Cough, and in the preschool, Pedro has a cough, and by the end of the episode,
Never.
it's spread to all the children and the teacher, and even the doctor ends up getting it. Now that's quite relevant to what's going on at the minute.
I remember that episode because I thought if that was a real horse, they'd just put him down. They'd have shot him under a blanket next to the next jump or something.
Yeah, but it's not a horse,
Do you
it's a pony. Hence his name,
Oh,
Pedro
piss.
Pony.
But it's
You can still
it's
shoot
a
a pony.
fucking small horse.
If
Yeah.
a pony breaks
Do you
his
know,
leg
the
or something,
thing-
it's not going to be like, oh, well, we'll be fine.
Yeah, but it's a cough, it hasn't broken its leg.
The thing that pisses me off most about Peppa Pig is there's one episode where the daddy's football team go and they have a barbecue. And the worst thing is not only did most of the things that should be on the barbecue were attending it, but then they finally set fire to the barbecue and then called the fire brigade to put it out because the barbecue was on fire.
Yeah.
It's just... Oh my god, teaching kids to waste the time in the emergency services. I was like, Jesus, just do one.
Are we seriously
Yeah, it's
discussing Peppa Pig?
If
Yeah,
you were a
the-
parent, Joe, you would understand.
Well, I'm not a parent, and I don't want to be talking about Peppa Pig because I can't weigh in because I don't watch it. I have no.
Okay,
I
shall
have
we move
no
on to
argument.
Paw Patrol or
No, I don't
Masks?
watch that. Oh, PJ Masks, well, yeah. No, I don't watch
PJ Masks.
any of those things. I watch good things. Like, okay, like during your quarantine or whatever, what have you been watching? I'm not on about kids programs. I'm on about what have you been watching? Have you been like binging anything, or
The new Picard series.
the new Picard? Okay, and how have you found that?
I had mixed feelings about it. It is very, very good, and I enjoy it very, very much. And I really liked. I watched them all now, and I liked what they did with it. But I do appreciate the people who turn around and say it's not. When you watched TNG originally, there used to be a more sort of optimistic. Even in like the really dark episodes, it was all about finding the good in people and all that. There was a slightly sort of optimistic, upbeat sort of vibe to the whole thing. Whereas this is just it's like there's a scene where 7 of 9 just for no reason, she's already killed the bad guy, just goes back and just murders everyone because she can.
Fair.
I'm like, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
Jamie.
she does.
Sorry,
Yeah.
no, carry on, carry on.
That's
No, let him go.
All right.
oh, so she doesn't kill the bad guy and then come back and kill everyone else. She leaves the bad guy and tricks Picard into thinking that she's going to do something else. But instead, she goes back and kills the bad guy and all the guards.
Yeah, she just goes postal on them all.
But
It's just not.
that is the last episode I've seen so far, so don't spoil anything further after that.
All right, there's another thing, another problem I've got with 7 of 9 as a character in that. Number one, she drinks. 7 of 9 famously could not handle alcohol because of the whole Borg thing. And that now miraculously,
the first thing I noticed about her was she's a lot more human now. Not as in like a Borg who's learned how to be human, but as in like a natural human. She has more personality. She's almost.
And
I don't see
the-
any Borg in her at all, apart from a cybernetic eyepiece.
and the other problem with it is what happened to
Chakotay.
Chakotay. She had a massive relationship with Chakotay. All of a sudden, he's gone. No mention, no nothing. And all of a sudden, she's a lesbian. Again,
I'm
nothing
sorry,
wrong with being a lesbian.
What? Did you just
Who
spoil
did
something?
No, you've just seen the episode with the other lass in it. It was like massively like just the only way it could have been more obvious if they'd actually started like lesing off on in the thing. She had a relationship.
No, she's talking about that woman who killed her friend. Was experimenting on a friend, and she had to put him down.
They had a relationship.
Oh, I don't
She-
remember
she-
picking that up.
She bats for the other team now. She's a lover of the Evasion.
Oh,
It's
I didn't pick that
which
up.
again, in itself, isn't a particular problem in that, but it's the
No,
fact
but
that
it's a
well,
huge departure from character.
yeah, it's all there's all like well-established elements of character which have completely either been reversed, removed, or whatever, with no mention as to why or how or anything. It's just like
We're
it's
used to prim and proper cat suit wearing, hair tied up in a bun, almost Data-like 7 of 9 with very little emotion, and all of a sudden she's like, well, she's basically a Han Solo with tits.
Oh,
yeah,
language.
why not? Yeah, we're not crossing the franchises here. But no,
Especially not Trek and Wars.
it's little bits like that. If it actually is an interesting one, can you name an actor that's been in both?
No, because I don't watch
J.J.
it.
Abrams?
J.J. Abrams is director.
You said an actor.
Oh, all right,
Yeah.
I don't know then.
George Takei.
Well, who was he in Star Wars?
He voiced the character in the Clone Wars series.
Ah,
So technically, George Takei was the first actor to bridge the two franchise that I'm aware of.
well, he made a video trying to get the
Oh
The
yeah,
fight
the
between
yeah,
who was it
Carrie
between
Fisher and Shatner.
yeah, and a band together against these vampires that sparkle.
Yeah, that was. I like that.
That video was
he
awesome.
before he went mental, he was funny. Was that guy?
Before who went mental?
George Takei. He
What
just
do you mean
went
went
like
mental?
he went hardcore social justice, and that, and,
No,
and
yeah,
it's
but
just
a lot of them.
a
did.
lot of. But yeah, I know. But a lot of his content before it used to be, you would have elements of his, of that, but then you know how they just go that far that it just becomes intolerable, and it's.
Yeah.
I'm not as big a fan as I used to be, but he's still cool, I guess.
Okay.
So yeah.
So that's been Martin. Jamie, what have you been binging?
I haven't. I mean, there was that one episode of Picard's that I mentioned. Other than that, I've not really watched a lot. I've been, during the day, obviously, looking after the kids. And then on an evening, I've either been playing one of my single-player games on Xbox or I've been on Sea of Thieves with you.
Yes.
So I've not really been watching that much.
What about me? I have been watching American Horror Story.
Oh, which series?
All right.
I am up to series 4 now, which is the circus one.
Oh, Freak Show, or what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you dressed up as McTwist, didn't you?
Twisted. Yeah, I was going to say that's
Twisty, that's it.
That's the only series I know because I was asked to do that event as that character, and then I actually had to watch the entire series to figure out who the hell he was because I'd never.
Oh,
seen
did you
it.
watch the whole series?
But yeah, I watched the whole of the circus one. Yeah. And it was...
Next week, we managed to get that amazing photo of you and Kieran sat next to each other, and Kieran's just staring up at you with like a smile on his face. He doesn't look terrified at all.
Oh, that's cute.
I was quite surprised actually because it being a character that I was relatively unfamiliar with until like recently before the event. There was a lot of people like, "Oh, it's the clown" and all that, and I was like, "Yeah."
American
It was-
Horror
it was-
Story
it
is
was a fun
big.
day, wasn't it?
I mean, I'm very late to the game. I think it's on like season 10 or something at the minute. So I just thought, I've got Netflix. I've got a lot of time.
So
I watched.
isn't it just all the same actors, just
It's
put in different
it's
situations?
mostly
in each
the
series,
same.
isn't it?
They're mostly the same actors, but each series is something completely different. So,
Yeah.
What you'll find with a lot of series is that as different seasons go on, it runs stale, it runs dry. Flogging a dead horse, supernatural. But in this, like each season is like 13 episodes long, and then that's it. That's its own series. And the next series is something completely different, and they'll like reuse a lot of the same actors, but playing different people. So it keeps it fresh and it keeps it different, but it keeps the brand. So it's good. It's different what they've done, and it's really weird, but I'm enjoying it. So the first series was what was it? Murder House.
I was going to say it's a house, isn't it? And then the second one's Asylum.
It's Asylum, and then the third one is Coven, about witches, and then this one, which is the circus. Well, freak show. Sorry, but no, I'm enjoying them. I think it's going well. It's going well. But other than that, it's just been I've been playing games, and obviously I now have Disney Plus because I'm lame.
We got that as well.
Are you as well?
I'm hopefully getting that.
High five, all of you.
Yeah.
We can all
It's
have our inner Disney, and we can all watch Toy Story.
I want to watch The Mandalorian.
Yeah, I was about to say I want to catch up. I watched to like the third episode, I think.
Yeah, me and you.
And then I
watched,
just
I haven't
sort of
seen any yet.
episodes.
Yeah, maybe we need to do that at some point. We'll just attach our Xbox Live together and just like simultaneously press play on the same episode. Something to see if we can all watch like the same episode or something.
Yeah, it'd be
That'll be a good
interesting to
laugh.
see if we can do a quarantine edition of Educating Jamie.
Yeah,
Well, I
sort
mean,
of long
if
distance.
this is going to be how it's going to be for however many months, then
6 months, apparently.
there'll be more quarantine paddies. Try and get it back on a semi regular schedule, because this last year is it's just taking its toll. So
Well, it came up on my memories. I think it was yesterday on Facebook.
yeah,
A year ago, we released that off-topic review, the trailers one, the one where we did Godzilla and Leon the Professional and so on.
Leon the Professional, which
well,
you
we
still
did
need to
review
watch.
that. You two spoke about it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
still need to watch it. I've still not seen it.
It's the best non-Star Wars film of all time. Is that?
No, that's Nightmare Before Christmas.
Get Out.
Overrated.
Fuck no. Sorry, you can get out.
I beg your pardon.
No, it's
You heard.
What?
Leon
That's
the Professional
overrated.
fucking-
No, it's not overrated.
Oh, someone's on the
Nightmare Before
defensive.
Christmas just isn't.
You're damn right I'm on the defensive.
good.
It's my favourite film of all time.
Is it?
It
I
isn't
do
as good as
apologise, but
Leon.
you're wrong. Jurassic Park is.
Well, I can't agree or disagree on that because I've not seen Leon the Professional, but
Well, there you go. Then.
based against every other film I've seen.
It's a very
the
different
best.
type of film, though.
Well, yes, I imagine it is.
There isn't many like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Coraline,
reason, 'cause-
Corpse Bride, Paranorman.
Out,
That's three just off the top of my head.
out of the Burton universe.
True.
That was a weird noise.
Yes, a little small is just coming to the room. I keep trying to switch
Oh,
my
well-
microphone off, and it looks like she's going to say something.
Put it away and zip back up then.
Ha ha!
Oh, you're a bad man, Joe.
Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm about to call it now because we've been on it for like an hour and a half.
Bloody hell, we
Well, it's
have.
overdue.
We've been on longer because we were chatting for about an hour before you got it recorded.
Yeah, different type
Yeah,
of bollocks.
exactly.
Look,
Me and Martin have been
technical
on since 8:15.
difficulties. I don't want like random radio interference interfering.
Well, maybe you could have got your neighbour to sort of join in, just like radio in. Or
Well, no,
something like
because
that.
it
could have
was
been
all
like a call-in
muffled and rubbish,
person.
and they probably couldn't hear us, so they just come out with some random rubbish.
Fair enough.
Meanwhile, I can look out the bedroom window and see a massive, like, aerial sticking out. Oh, shut up,
Oh, well,
Martin.
The joke's already been made. The joke's already been made.
You are the joke.
I'm a leg end. I am. I'm so much of a legend.
No,
on the
don't bother saying it.
Too late. He's already said it.
Yeah, well, that's why he's a dick. So, I suppose we'll...
So your face.
And back to the schoolyard we are. So,
Yep.
I will listen to the beginning of this recording back, and if the audio is acceptable.
Please tell me before we started you actually did do some test recording.
Yes, but obviously not for this
thank God for
length
that.
of time.
Well, no.
But if it's acceptable as I'm currently hearing, then this can be a regular thing during the quarantine, as we're not allowed to be within 2 meters of each other.
Yeah, fair enough.
Now we couldn't do the in-car paddy, which I originally wanted to do, where we just drive off to the woods somewhere.
No, because we'd have been breaking the rules, wouldn't we?
Yes. I had it all planned out. It's going to be called carpool
Paddy on the road.
Quarinoki or something. And we were just... Cause I was going to record it as well, so it would be a video of just me and Jamie sat in the car, and Martin folded into the back seat of my car as we do.
Why am I in the back seat?
Which
Because I called shotgun.
he called shotgun. I mean, it will happen one day, but until we're allowed to do that, then we can't.
That's what we need to do. First day of non-quarantine.
Freedom paddy. Where we all
Freedom
have
paddy, yeah.
half blue faces like Mel Gibson, and we shout freedom.
Yeah, there you go.
Problem solved. So
I'm looking forward to it already.
I'll listen to it back. Hopefully, how I've jerry-rigged this will work quite well, and then we can do it. But if the audio is rubbish, then sack this off. We'll have to wait.
Yeah.
But fingers crossed, hey?
It's been a laugh anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It'll be
any
fun.
final words?
None that makes sense.
Any
Stay in.
encouragement?
Stay
There you go. Some encouragement for anyone listening. That's I want to go out and mingle with people.
safe. Mm-mm. Stay in. Stay safe.
I can't. I have to work
Yeah,
in
well, yeah.
retail with grotty public.
Essential workers have to work, and you've got your one allotted exercise period per day. But other than that, stay in, stay away from people. The more we stay in, the more we isolate ourselves, the quicker this is going to go away.
We hope.
Well, if we do, then it can't spread, can it? And it will die, like every other virus.
That's not why they're doing it, but yeah, go on.
What do you mean it's not why they're doing it?
The whole idea is to slow the virus. They're not going to stop it. They're not going to stop it, but slow the virus so as not to overwhelm the NHS. I don't think they're expecting to stop it by doing this. It's a case of, as they put it, flattening the curve, so the amount of total cases at any one time isn't as high.
But then it'll hopefully work long enough that they can devise a vaccine against it.
You would hope so. But, we'll see.
If there was a vaccine for a virus, the flu wouldn't exist. Like the regular flu wouldn't
The
exist.
flu. Yeah, but there's ever-changing strains of the flu. That's why there's
Exactly,
a new flu
and
vaccine every year.
And it will be the same with this.
But this is a
It will
specific
change.
strain of coronavirus.
But it will still change. It will still adapt to its surroundings. It's what a virus
But
does.
don't forget, though, coronavirus has been around for decades. This one we're fighting now is a specific strain. They can make a vaccine for this specific strain. They just need the time.
Exactly, but they say that the soonest, after trials and everything, the soonest it could be released would be late next year. Damage would have been done by
Isn't
then.
really ideal.
So, anyway, Martin, Any
happy
any
now.
final things that you want to add that Jamie hasn't said? Try and mix it up a little. He said the common thing which everyone says. Now you think of something.
Try to entertain yourselves and break up the boredom.
And those
Take
around
up a
you.
hobby.
Don't be selfish.
Yeah, learn a new skill.
And what are you going to learn?
There we go.
Come on.
I'm exercising a lot.
Well, there you go. You've learned a skill.
Yes, that's
Actually,
kind of it's
on the
personal
subject of learning a
development.
new skill.
Go on.
Go on.
On the subject of learning a new skill, Sharon taught me a new skill. I can now do the alphabet in British Sign Language.
Very good. You've learnt sign language, a very important thing that we can't let die out.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Well, it's not a fully sign language. I can't sign. I don't know words yet. I can just do the alphabet. So if you've got the time, I can spell out the words here.
Yeah, I was going to say you know how to spell, right? You've got all the ingredients to make the cake.
Yes, but in sign language, words aren't just a spelling of the individual letters. Like instead of thank you, you don't spell out thank you. You put the back of your fingers to your chin and extend them forward, and that's thank you in sign language.
Just remember, have you seen the Naked Gun films?
yes.
Where they're having
of course I
the
haven't.
car chase. He's like, now carefully extend your arm, now carefully extend your middle finger. He's like, well
to
done. Let's
the
continue.
learner driver, yeah. I remember.
Yeah, that's just all I thought of when he said that. He goes, I learn sign language. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Flip off learner drivers. That's what you need to do in this quarantine thing. See some L plates driving past and
What?
just stand there and just, flash it V's out of my window.
I don't think learner drivers are a thing at the moment because they're not doing.
Well, no, they won't be.
They're not doing any tests. Because if you're sat next to a stranger learning to drive, you're less than 2 meters apart. So, learning to drive and like your final driving test are on hold now.
Can you still hire limos? Just sitting
Probably not. I mean, no, you won't be able to because even at like funerals, you can only have like a maximum of 10 people or something now, innit?
10 people, yeah.
And like 2 at a wedding,
Yeah.
which is rubbish because your priest isn't invited then.
Yeah, I was going to say you need at least 4. You need a priest and a witness. So you're screwed.
Yeah.
But when it says invite 2, I don't think that includes the bride and groom, you know.
Yeah, well, probably is at the minute. Only one of you can
Well, not really,
attend
because
the
when
wedding.
when you invite someone to your wedding, you don't invite the bride and groom, do you? That's a given that they're going to be there.
So yeah,
That was a weird
strange
tangent to go on.
world.
Well, there is another thing I'm going to be learning as well. When my
Go
next
on.
paycheck comes in, I'm going to be signing on for an online course to get a diploma in, now I'm offended by the term, but I'm not a snowflake, so I'm not going to demand change, Norse mythology.
Why are you offended by the term of Norse mythology?
The word mythology.
Mm.
Why
I'm a
would
Norse
you say
pagan, aren't I?
There's a lot
So
of
as far as I'm
quietness
concerned,
going
it's
on.
not mythology, it's law. Lore, law, not LAW.
I am the law.
breaking
But-
the law, breaking the law? That one, yeah.
I'm not one of these professionally offended people who's going to whine about it to change. You know, it's my right to be offended. I'm offended, but I'm not going to demand anyone changes anything.
Cool.
I mean, I'm offended by boy bands, but I'm not going to ban them.
So here's one that I've never quite.
Is
quite
Metallica a
understood
boy
with
band
the
because
whole...
it's a band full of boys?
Well, by technical definition, yes, but it's not.
Oh, then
when
you don't like
when you say the
Metallica.
phrase boy band, it brings to mind like 90s pop bands like
Specific
Boyzone and
genre.
NSYNC and
That
so
would
on.
be a pop band.
Yeah,
then.
it's like a specific genre. Go on, Martin, you were going to say something.
Why? How do you learn the tradition and ritual of Norse paganism when they don't have a holy book?
Well,
I know they've
we
got
don't have
the poems or whatever. I can't remember what you call it. The epics.
the
whatever.
prose Edda and the poetic Edda, which were written
Yeah.
down by Snorri Sturluson, a 13th century skald. It's basically a collection of writings and testaments from ancient artifacts and documents that were discovered. Documents have survived throughout the years, and that's how we know what we know about the Vikings and their practices.
Otherwise known as history.
Yeah, exactly.
It's how we learn about everything from history times. That and horrible histories.
I've just got this vision of Jamie knocking on doors, going, "Have you learnt about our Lord and Saviour Odin?" And there's a big lightning bolt in the background.
The lightning bolt was Thor, not Odin.
Oh,
Yeah, I know, but Thor's like Odin's bitch, isn't he? So he could have just told him,
No,
like,
he's his
drop
son.
a lightning bolt for me. Yeah, but in the
Come
grand
on, don't you
pecking
watch
order,
Thor?
he's like at the top, isn't he? Yeah.
Odin
I've
is the
seen that-
father of the gods, but Thor is actually so powerful that the other gods fear him, and he's not. When he wants to go to Asgard, he's not allowed to walk across the Rainbow Bridge for fear that his sheer strength will break it walking across it.
Is
Well,
he
they're
fat?
shit architects, aren't they?
No, he's just that strong.
Yeah. Is it Fat Thor from the last Avengers? Is that what it is? He's let himself go a bit.
If I were easily offended.
Anyway, I think we need to sign off now, because now it's been like an hour and 45 minutes.
Anyway, have fun.
We will
There we go.
continue with more quarantine humour, if that's what you want to call it. And the next time round, meanwhile, I've got to work on this and try and get this out with facing more technical difficulties of blending audio with a static picture now. Ugh, that's a headache. I think I've got...
But you never know, with it being done this way rather than with your microphones, it might be easier.
No, because I still have to blend audio with a static image so it can go onto like YouTube. But I think
What editor are you using?
whatever I can find. But
You were
remember,
telling me about this. The one you used to use doesn't exist anymore, or it
well,
wants you to pay for
does,
it.
yeah, it wants you to pay for it. Which I'm not against paying for it, but I'm against paying that much for something that I'm only going to use a handful of times a year. So
Well, that's just an excuse to make more paddies then, isn't it?
I've been speaking to, remember Craig Curtis?
No.
Yes.
I
know Craig.
He's a video editor, and he said he might be able to do it for me for like pocket money. So I'll see how that goes. Either way,
good guy.
I'll sort something out. But first I need to sleep because I work too hard, because I'm a trooper. A very tired
I'm at work
trooper.
tomorrow as well.
I've got to entertain a 5-year-old for another day.
I suppose that's
Hey,
work in
that was good.
itself.
Well, I've got to
Some
entertain a
to-
5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and then I've got work in the evening.
I have to entertain the public, which is like entertaining 1-year-olds.
Yeah, I remember those days from when I worked at shop.
Yeah. Remember, I don't do my job for people. I do my job to make sure that their animals are looked after properly.
Yes, you do.
Because I'm a darling.
You provide an essential service.
I certainly do. I've even got
Now,
a
on a
letter from
different
work
note,
if I get stopped by the police saying I'm a key
Yeah, I've
worker.
got
many-
one of them as well.
How many times have we been finishing this podcast now?
Oh, so many.
I'm say I can count about 3.
Oh god, I'm just going to stop talking now. I'll nod and agree, make
Alright.
noises. There we go.
Okay, Jamie, say your farewell.
See you all later, people.
Now do it in sign language. Oh, that was beautiful. That was a beautiful flow
It
of
was,
hand
wasn't it?
gesture.
Yeah, that was brought a tear to the eye with that one.
Did he poke you in the eye with his flailing gay hand?
Oh my god!
Oh boy.
Martin,
Don't start us down another tangent.
Martin, say goodbye
Goodbye,
before we
people.
start another another rant.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Please
mate.
let me go. I want to sleep.
Oh, you and me both. Not together.
I was going to say, what?
Yeah, well,
That's an entirely new subject.
yeah. I'll leave it recording over our talk. Okay, I'm going as well. So until next time, folks. Goodbye.